Let's hit the crosswalk, let's talk, can you keep up? You're kinda keen and now we're looking like I don't sleep enough. Take a tone, a rendezvous without a straight far. I'm the kind of easier mind by taking you to the graveyard. Step out to the city, but you don't know me. Take my wits right with me, but they don't know me. Maybe feel like going psycho in the streets, sit it for later. Instead I'll make a stylish retreat. Hey, go live, go high, so fly, oh my, no drop. This guy, talk about a misfire, leave it to misfire, spitting for cash. I'll never be caught up again, right in this album, just say it. Tokete yuku hibi no naka de atarashii mahou wa ga keshitaku sore wa do you mean so you ain't me te kotai wo jibun de sagashite She said tsuki ni ura mo omote mo nai Have a great night Watashi o typhoon made lady Downtown utateru Sha la 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 Daremo kizukanai Hio de ya migoto Ako ko yai ni wa Never missing moon Dareka wo terasu As far as telling horror stories goes My kind of warfare Pull back the curtain for one hell of a show Deadbeats swinging out of control Transmission live before you I'll read in real time Just don't forget it, mission That's so it's still mine Sha la 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 Hey, listen 今あなたの隣に死神がいますよ Sha la 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 Hey, hey, もしもし You have to watch it again! Let's hit the crosswalk, let's talk, can you keep up? You're kinda keen and now we're looking like I don't sleep enough. Take a tone, a rendezvous without a straight far. I'm the kind of easier mind by taking you to the graveyard. Step out to the city, but you don't know me. Take my wits right with me, but they don't know me. Maybe feel like going psycho in the streets, sit it for later. Instead I'll make a stylish retreat. Hey, go live, go high, so fly, oh my, no drop. This guy, talk about a misfire, leave it to misfire, spitting for cash. I'll never be caught up again, right in this album, just say it. Tokete yuku hibi no naka de atarashii mahou wa ga keshitaku sore wa do you mean so you ain't me te kotai wo jibun de sagashite She said tsuki ni ura mo omote mo nai Have a great night Watashi o typhoon made lady Downtown utateru Sha la 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 Daremo kizukanai Hio de ya migoto Ako ko yai ni wa Never missing moon Dareka wo terasu As far as telling horror stories goes My kind of warfare Pull back the curtain for one hell of a show Deadbeats swinging out of control Transmission live before you I'll read in real time Just don't forget it, mission That's so it's still mine Sha la 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 Hey, listen 今あなたの隣に死神がいますよ Sha la 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 Hey, hey, もしもしEverybody, welcome to the recap session of MYTHBREAKERS. 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 I don't know why my music. You know what? If we can rub out the scuff like right now, that would be great. Music? Yes. Play. Music. Ah, なるほど. There we go. There we go. Deadbeats, takodachis. Oh wait, I'm holding the book and like I said, if we can just watch it again. Let's hit the crosswalk, let's talk, can you keep up? You're kinda keen and now we're looking like I don't sleep enough. Take a tone, a rendezvous without a straight far. I'm the kind of easier mind by taking you to the graveyard. Step out to the city, but you don't know me. Take my wits right with me, but they don't know me. Maybe feel like going psycho in the streets, sit it for later. Instead I'll make a stylish retreat. Hey, go live, go high, so fly, oh my, no drop. This guy, talk about a misfire, leave it to misfire, spitting for cash. I'll never be caught up again, right in this album, just say it. Tokete yuku hibi no naka de atarashii mahou wa ga keshitaku sore wa do you mean so you ain't me te kotai wo jibun de sagashite She said tsuki ni ura mo omote mo nai Have a great night Watashi o typhoon made lady Downtown utateru Sha la 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 Daremo kizukanai Hio de ya migoto Ako ko yai ni wa Never missing moon Dareka wo terasu As far as telling horror stories goes My kind of war Welcome, one and all. One and all. Sorry about that. No one saw anything. A lot of people just got here, so it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Reverb off. This is the voice of God speaking, but not anymore. Now it's just Mori. What a letdown. What a letdown. I just got here. Oh, fantastic. There were no issues. I'm using OBS this time instead of what I usually use, which is not OBS. So, I had to learn a couple things. I learned a lot of things. I've been preparing quite a bit for this. I was waiting a good long time to do this recap with you guys, because, you know, MYTHBREAKERS is something near and dear to my heart, something that I really wish that we could have finished closer to when sessions were popping off, but, well, various things kind of changed in the world of darkness and also in the world of hololive English idols. A lot changed. But that's okay, because one thing that doesn't change are the bonds of friendship and the stories that we tell with each other and the things we learn from each other. That's right. And maybe that sounds a bit sappy, but because this is a work of fiction, I think we're allowed to dream a little bit, yes? Deadbeats, takodachis, teammates, shrimps, jumbuds, and KFP. What do you guys think? Regardless, today we are recapping, and we must recap well and thoroughly before the session begins. Dreams will never end, precisely, especially MYTHBREAKER dreams. I've been very excited for this. I've been tossing around all kinds of ideas in my head, and to be honest, the ending that I had originally planned out for the series completely changed. See, I had planned to do it before, but it did not happen. And maybe it was for the better, because I feel like the ending that I had concocted was not very satisfying nor good. It wasn't well thought out, but I've had lots of time to think about this one, and come up with ideas that might, you know, challenge the team and test their mettle. But we also, it will not be the longest session in the world either, because the ladies have lives. Though it's always fun, despite having lives, to just chill with your friends, right? That's how Mori feels. Hopefully it is worth the wait. 514 days to think about. It's really been that long, huh? Additionally, I'd like to give a huge ups to Scene. Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get your name wrong. Did I not link that spectacular animation in the beginning? Is by Sense of None. And I shall link it to you in the description so you guys may go watch it and give it lots of love, because it's amazing. OP. There you go. You guys should give it lots of love, because it deserves it. Sense of None, banger animation. Banger animation. It was funny hearing the Grim Reaper as a live streamer in the background, because I was like, ah, what an old song. But so many people like it, so that makes me happy. I'd like to see a rendition with Wanted Wasted. Maybe I'll make it myself. I don't know. Maybe that would fit more. But it's still nice. It still has its own charm, I guess. And I guess for its time, also. Only 2 years old. But truly, thank you very much, Sense of None, for creating that OP. It's beautiful. And I know that the ladies also really appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Shall we begin the recap? I was contemplating where to start. Where do we start? At the very beginning. A very nice, very good place to start. Let's remember our characters. Hopefully you guys remember a little something about our protagonists. Let's start off with Tiara, whose tutorial was first, actually. Tutorial, for those who are new, is like an introduction session, right? The first tutorial was Tiara. Player Takanashi Kiara, the gunslinger, correct, chat? The gunslinger of the group. Tiara. Tiara, my beloved. Chihuahua.
I'm gonna start calling her Chihuahua. Oh lordy. Yeah, let me put chat in here. You guys can join us in. You guys can join in on the conversation here. Here we go. Very nice. Tiara and her bird, ooh. Yeah, the trivia about Tiara, she has a cute owl. Not necessarily just a bird, an owl. Ooh. And a speaking tick as well, Ara. Do you guys remember Ara? I wonder if she'll be able to keep up with it this time. I guess it would make sense that, she's been in this foreign land for long enough that maybe the verbal tick has gone away. Who could say? Now it's queso, and no queso. Also, Tiara x Watoto forever? I don't know. Well, that's up to the fans. Whether anything actually manifests in session, we'll just have to wait and see. But let's read about Tiara, played by Takanashi Kiara, a spirited young bird handler with a sharp wit and even sharper tongue. She hails from a far-off land, left only an enigmatic token by her brother, which is the Phoenix Charm, who we disappeared. Clearly this is not proofread. I'm gonna have to slap my editor for that. Sorry about that. Who disappeared into Egypt. Perhaps, I'm too excited. Perhaps she was always destined to fall into the hunter life. After taking on a part-time job in order to pay rent in this foreign land, she meets Vic, who is definitely not a vampire. Do you guys remember Vic and Cornelius? The vampire brothers. Vic was a janitor at the Bird Lady place, the Bird Lady shop that Tiara had to work at. Remember, she had to pay that rent. My boy Vic. Yes, a fan favorite. What a doofus. What a doofus. This sets off a chain of events leading to a dangerous encounter with some high-level thieves in an abandoned house who were after her brother's trinket. She was being stalked by snakes. She only realized it when there was no time left. And then Uhu disappeared, and so did the pendant. But Uhu was trying to keep the pendant safe, you see. Indeed. Vic. Vic is Calvin Zero. Who could say? But there, in that house, she encounters something she knows she should not have seen. A werewolf transformation! Unable to return to her daily life ever again, she joins the MYTHBREAKERS to make some sense of this. Again, Editor Chan, you're getting slapped. Big time. In hopes of once again meeting her Aniki. And as we all know, and as we will see later on in the recap, that does have some kind of resolution, doesn't it? What fate will befall Tiara and her friends? And where will Tiara's sensibilities lie, in protecting her friends? Or returning to chasing after her brother once again? Who knows what will happen? But we're all cheering for Tiara because she's kinda cute. Not kinda, very cute. She's also so sweet, giving Watoto's the sweet one. Giving Uhu his worms, but not that kind of worm. Oh gosh, we'll talk about that later. Next up, who do we have? It's Yule. You'll be alright. Played by Ninomai Inanis. Who is Yule, you may ask? A tired college student working as a TA, which means teacher's assistant, for her local university. Experienced in the lab and not so much in parties, she spends most of her time helping the often secretive professor with unknown projects. Ooh, whatever happened to that professor? Didn't really see much of her after that session. Yule is one day dragged to a sick frat party by her roommate Nita. She's a bit of a partier, just a little bit of a Stacy, but she's cute too. Only to realize there's more to this party than meets the eye. Finding herself in the middle of a hunter induction ceremony. Without believing any of the members in their ambitions, she finds her way back to the school only to discover a dastardly plot set up by the professor, one involving a truck full of sticks and leaves? Why sticks and leaves? You may wonder. Later on, we learned a little bit more about changelings. You guys remember the changelings? You guys remember the Fae? Human beings replaced by fake humans, sticks and stones and leaves. Creating a fake doppelganger to take your place. Indeed. Additionally, not to mention getting chased by a dark, shadowy figure called the Hook, who is a changeling, as a matter of fact. A very powerful one, a very scary one. Actually, Yule almost died. Yeah. Ina almost had to re-roll her character. Yule can't get a break, but she might as well get through this weird arc in her life so she can catch a little sleep. That will be the good ending, right? Yule finally getting some sleep. That was, yeah, bad rolls. I mean, later on, though, her rolls got real good. Extremely lucky at card games. Those skills have come in clutch at the last moment. Additionally, she likes to sleep on the floor of the lab. Who does that sound like? A certain taco? And has been to a frat party. I mean, that's, I don't know. I felt like noting that because, I mean, I don't know. I haven't been to a frat party, so. Though I have my Stacy moments, I've never been to one. I don't know, seemed relevant. Additionally, with the introduction of You'll Be Alright, we also learned about the Brohood, which is essentially a hunter organization that is a frat. A frat hunter organization, but they don't really seem to know what they're doing. We never really heard much about them again, but what I always kind of assumed happened to those guys is they just kind of got bored of it. They got bored of the intrigue. None of them had actually ever, like, really had a real supernatural encounter, I don't think. Like, not really. They always got kind of close. Even when they went to the beach. When they walked off the beach and they said, yeah, we got this. The Brohood. During the carnival session, the beach carnival session. They were walking off the beach and Chad was like, yeah, Yule, what's up? I remember you from the frat party. Chad was like, we got it all taken care of. They did not get it taken care of. They went into the House of Mirrors, which was not full of doppelgangers yet, and deduced that there was a trick of light. And there was no real problem. But they made up some big story like, there were ghosts! Because of course they did. They want to sound cool. But what I believe happened afterward is that they just kind of fell off and decided to stop doing it. They got interested in other things. As many college students do. But Yule, on the other hand, wasn't so lucky. You see, Yule ended up joining the MYTHBREAKERS. Further doomed to a life looking after these idiots. Though it might have been a blessing as well, who could say? Looking after these guys, chasing after supernaturals. I took a semester abroad. Indeed. You'll be player character. Harsh. Okay, well they're not. Oh, they're not bad. In fact, they've made a lot of great decisions. But a little bit of party scuff in the beginning is always to be expected, and since this series ran a bit shorter than the average, well, to put it in perspective for you guys, when I played Hunter with my friends, we had I think we ran about 40 sessions before we ended, which gave us ample time to use our EXP, etc. But this series ended up being about 7 sessions long? Yeah, 40. It was pretty wild. World of Darkness games can be long, but that's the story of You'll Be Alright. We're all just hoping she can get some sleep. Next up, who could it be but everybody's favorite country bumpkin? It's Scout from Belt Buckle. That part is really important. No last name, just Scout from Belt Buckle. Played by Gargura. Tongs and thongs. I still remember this tutorial session as being one of the more fun streams that I've ever done in my life. I don't know, the roleplay that I did with Gura here was really top notch. I got kind of emotional listening back to all of these tutorials. They were good times. Scout's intro was a real iconic stream. So many iconic moments. Trivia about Scout is, well, she is the actual murder hobo. We thought it would be Watoto, but it's actually Scout. She usually solves her problems by taking off her pants, and she has a sister who just kind of fucks off. You know, the two of them were victims of, you know, bad parenting, as in their parents were super evil, right? More on that at 11. It's past 11. It's 1. Well, it's 1 for me. A rough and tumble wily girl from the deep countryside. Hailing from the town of Beltbuckle, she learned an awful truth about her parents and what they were doing to the townsfolk. Feeding the people to an ancient evil well and mine. Possessing the town. With the help of a new doctor in town, known only as Dr. Nice, she discovered the ugly truth and decided to leave the dastardly town behind. She and her sister made way for the city and encountered the MYTHBREAKERS, a strange organization led by an enigmatic woman with pink hair that is also brown. It's brownish pink. It's brown pink hair. Brown with a pink sheen. Now she works to solve mysteries with the team, but she's still looking out for herself first and foremost. Which is what we have seen so far. And who could blame her? Who could blame her? Poor Dr. Nice. Well, Dr. Nice is still, you know, bouncing around here and there, healing injuries as the team doctor. At least up until now. Things may change. I mean, after all, the syndicate has just been robbed. So that's kind of a sticky situation. But this is Scout from Beltbuckle. Looking forward to seeing more pants antics. Pantics. It hurts. Pantics. From the one, the only Scout from Beltbuckle. Did his injuries ever heal? Not the mental ones. I mean, technically, he's doomed to become a hunter as well because he also witnessed the same horrors that Scout did. Who knows if Scout will ever truly return to Beltbuckle? I wonder what dreams Scout has for the future. What does she want to do from here? He's got pants-based trauma now. Where's old Crinkle? With his moonshine, old Crinkle's still in Beltbuckle. He never left. He belongs there. He belongs in Beltbuckle. Old Crinkle's fine. And he will be fine. He will live a life away from supernaturals. Additionally, we have one last player to introduce. The one, the only, Watoto. Watoto! Of the Watoto clan. So Watoto of the Watoto clan. Oh, I really should have played everybody's music. I'm gonna change it for Watoto. Watoto's theme. It's funny because if you go to this track in the TTRPG BGM playlist, it's just comments about Watoto. I wonder if the creator is like, what the hell? Was really vibing when this came on stream. You're in Sweaty Cheeks Alley. Yes, that is indeed where our friend Watoto spent a lot of his time. You see, Watoto is an odd little being who hates the government and loves mushrooms. Played by Amelia Watson, by the way. Small, tricky, and a bit smelly. Watoto is known to not trust anyone or anything. The Watoto family follows the same code. However, after discovering an odd conspiracy involving an abandoned building in the forest, yes, Watoto realizes his family's fears about the government might be true. Put into desperation, Watoto makes a deal with an unknown entity called the Worm. What it wants, nobody knows. Returning home, Watoto finds no one left in the trailer once occupied by the Watoto clan. Where is Mother Watoto? Where is Father Watoto? At least we have doggies. But Mother and Father Watoto? Where did they go? What's his opinion on chihuahuas? You're gonna have to ask him. He really just has the big doggies. Yeah. The Watoto has doggies. Thusly, Watoto sets out on a quest to find them and answer the mysteries surrounding the world. Though thought to be the initial murder hobo, Watoto is the most socially adept of the group. Which is insane to me. And has cute doggies. Watoto. And mushrooms. Has an interesting relationship with Chihuahua. They've been on many a mission together and been grouped together. Also the most compassionate. True. See, Watoto may hate the government, but Watoto is not a selfish Watoto. No. Watoto looks out for Watoto friends. Hence the reason why in the last session, Watoto could have chosen to take the big money from the safe and have Chihuahua executed in a game of friend or foe. But of course, both Watoto and Chihuahua chose not to accept the deal. They chose to value their friendship and keep each other alive. And therefore, I believe that Watoto is truly good. Watoto is good. Yeah, that's right. Watoto is not he, she, or they. Watoto is Watoto. It is Watoto. It is Watoto is Watoto. Also, no it. Just Watoto. Watoto is it. No it. Just Watoto. Watoto is love, Watoto is life. That's enough out of you. So these are the protagonists of our story. Many different characters with different backgrounds, different lives. Each of them want different things too, or at least they did want different things. But now that Watoto has reunited with Watoto family, what will happen next? There are still several threads that have not been closed. And much like the ending of Evangelion, not all of them will be closed, but most of them will. And that's what counts. Indeed. For example, Watoto has quite a little dilemma in Watoto's pocket. Am I correct? See, Watoto made a deal with the worm. A favor owed to the worm. No one's forgotten about that favor. Least of all, the GM. So if it does become important, the worm might just go ahead and make a stand. That's right. Big dilemma in the pocket. Now that we've reintroduced our crazy kooky cast of characters, let's go ahead and look at the NPCs that we have as well to quickly review the other characters of this story. First of all, we have Madam M, the mysterious pink and brown-haired lady running the establishment. Her mother was once a hunter in the same organization before they left on a mission and never returned. Now she attempts to bring about the next era of hunters, though not too well. She kinda sucks at it. She's more concerned about her son's soccer practice. That's right, she is a soccer mom. It's not GeekJack. Madam M. Well, don't know what's gonna happen now that the organization has no money. Who could say? Let's see what Madam M decides to do. We've also got Vic, who's a fan favorite. Vampire prince who helps Madam M in various ways, most notably with his connections. Sometimes serves drinks at the bar, he's dumb very often. Though, as Madam M did explain, they do a little more for Vic than he does for them. Sadly. I hate this dude. Aw, come on, he's just duding around. His much more competent brother, Cornelius, fraternal twin brother, is the one that kind of really commands the family. You know, Vic was just never cut out to be a prince. Though he is the older one by like a minute, just not cut out to be a prince. Cornelius kind of took over the throne and they're doing pretty well. Ever since this team here exposed a rival vampire family, Vic's family has been doing good, and they will continue onward to command their little sector of the vampire world. Additionally, we have Kid, who's a spooky merchant child who's easy to bully. He's provided quite a few things here and there to the team, though more often than not, despite his tough kid demeanor, the team has sufficiently scared the pants off of him. I think Watoto threatened to, like, give him a smooch one time, and he freaked out. I was like, oh my god, just take the weapon, get away from me. What are you buying? What are you selling? Really creative with that name. He's just a kid. He's just a kid. But you know, Kid is one of the first NPCs that Watoto met down in Sweaty Cheeks Alley, where he was selling his wares. What are you What are you buying? What are you selling? The voice of Kid. Though now that the entire organization has no money, there might not be enough reason for Kid to stick around. There's a possibility that him and Granny Bertha may just head off and find other greener pastures. Might go back to Sweaty Cheeks Alley. But Granny Bertha was always looking out for Kid, so she'll probably watch over him. But she doesn't mind the Sweaty Cheeks Alley. Not very loyal. Nah, not here, not in this world of darkness. See, that was Madam M's big mistake, trying to put together a team of misfits. Not necessarily the player characters, but the NPCs just don't really have much loyalty to each other. The Syndicate was destined to fail from the beginning. It's just business for him. Did we know the shotgun is possessed? I don't remember that. I thought that it came to light during the carnival mission, because Granny Bertha really made a big impression there. She was the one that was kind of leading around the characters, and she seemed to know a lot about the underworld. Well, whether it was mentioned or not, the truth is, the shotgun is possessed by her dead husband, who she doesn't get to see very often, but she does know quite a bit about the underworld, because of her connections to her husband. That's right, possessing the gun. Okay, I figured I had said that. Was it a shotgun wedding? No, he was alive back then. and no shotgun. Though Granny Bertha's always been good with a shotgun. Though, I don't know, Scout may have different things to say about that. In the beginning, when they met for the first time, Granny B did point a shotgun at Scout. Did not manage to roll a very good shot, if I do remember correctly. Was not able to impress. Was not able to impress Scout. But you know, Scout knows a couple things about like the rough and tumble, you know. She knows about the guns, she knows about the weapons, the pickaxes, the hardcore lifestyle. Scout's the one to ask. But Granny B is also not a force to be reckoned with. The last couple missions have had her very tired, so she's kind of resting at her own home that she has. She does have her own place, her own home, and some far-off relatives that take care of her. So regardless of what happens to the Syndicate, Granny B will be okay. We've also got Dr. Nice. You guys remember Dr. Nice from Scout's mission? Dr. Nice was the brand new local doctor that moved to Scout's backwater town. Really, he was just a nice guy, but Scout and Chat were immediately suspicious of him. Poor Dr. Nice, he didn't sign up for any of this, but he ended up getting dragged along on Scout's mission into the human-eating mines that Pawpaw made a deal with. That's right. Scout's family, eh? Getting all the precious minerals, but they had made a special deal with the mines. The mines also had some kind of dark influence behind them, didn't they? Interesting. I wonder what kind of dark influence that could have been. If it could be at all connected to any other dark influences we've learned about. Who could say? I hated that place. Well, most do. Scout and her pants saved that man, and he's forever grateful. Now he just continues to do what he does best, healing people. Healing these four. Other than that, he really keeps to himself. We've also got the Professor, who we've really not seen much of. The Professor, of course, is Yule's mentor. Yule, our resident college student teacher's assistant, played by Ninomai Inanis. That's right, the Professor is Yule's mentor, who was up to some business she never did quite figure out. Interestingly enough, during the last session, all of the characters kind of got to meet their family, who had all ended up joining a ragtag hunter group with super powerful masks gifted to them by an unknown entity. They steal from other hunter organizations to make money. That's right. How did all of their parents end up together? How did all their relatives get together? Who could say? Or maybe it happened for a reason. Some kind of dark string of fate, pulling these four closer and closer to their end. Hunters of hunters, precisely. But Yule, on the other hand, did not meet her family. In fact, no one was there for Yule. But the Professor has always kind of been there in the back of her mind. She hadn't had contact from the Professor in a very long time. What has she been up to? What is she doing? Cooped up in that research lab in the school. Well, it is summer vacation, so school's been out. But the Professor's still there. Doing what? And why did the Professor need those sticks and leaves? And other fairy-related materials? Just what is the Professor trying to do with the hedge? Well, that's all we know about the Professor for now. A couple more notable NPCs. We of course have Nita, bit of a Stacy, but she means well. Yule's roommate who joined a supernatural hunting frat. I think she did a keg stand. I can't remember. Then we've got Red Mask. Red Mask! This is Tiara's brother who spent time in Egypt and eventually returned to her, though not without robbing the bar. Due to the influence of the colored masks, his crew becomes stronger and more agile, but more aggressive and hostile, even towards friends. He runs a hunter conspiracy that steals from other hunters. That's right. Ah, Chad did the keg stand. Gotcha. Of course he did. The Power Rangers. They had various colored masks, but they were led by Red Mask, who is, of course, Tiara's brother. And this was found out because he said "Ara" at the end of a sentence. He was really working hard to get rid of that accent, but he slipped up and Tiara discovered who he was. Yes, after coming back from Egypt. What did he find in Egypt? Obviously, he must have gotten the masks from there. But who was waiting for him in Egypt to give him those masks? Perhaps a being that wanted to inspire chaos? Could it be? Perhaps there is a pattern forming here. Dio! Como Dio da! Bales Hakos, the Chaos Demon. Additionally, joining Red Mask's crew, we have Scout's parents, once a fearful family forced to feed a ferocious and fiendish foreign entity beneath the town. They've joined Red Mask's hunter crew to enjoy being thieves. I think they're just bad people, guys. I think there's nothing too deep about that. They're just bad. Bad folks. Then we've got Watoto's parents, who are maybe not bad folks, but are just Watotos. You know? Watotos. Government haters who joined Red Mask's crew to fight off the government without really knowing Red Mask's true intention. I think Watoto's parents care a lot less about the actual money and are more invested in taking down the government because, of course, when you work with this kind of high-level conspiracy, especially when you get to hunt other hunters and take their information, you get to learn a lot about the government. Watoto's parents are basically living their dreams. Who's to stop them? Down with the big mushroom. And a little less important, but I thought it would be worth mentioning the vampire twins Dominic and Daisy, high-class vampires with a penchant for playing with their food. Tiara took Dominic's eye. And Daisy said to Tiara, "You'll live to regret this." Will she actually ever do anything? Maybe. There's always the possibility that she comes back to, exact some revenge on Tiara. Tiara has quite a few enemies. She's made many enemies. That was a wild session. Oh yeah. The lasagna. Don't remind me. With all of these side characters being introduced, let's go ahead and recount our sessions. Yeah, Tiara's on a hit list. She's on a lot of people's shit list. Tiara. She sure is cute, though. So, session 1 was the very, very beginning. Each member of the story found their way to the front of a bar known as the Homestead. This is actually a base in disguise. They were introduced formally to Lady M, who runs a hunter organization and bribes the members to join with, well, money and also common sense. The whole idea of being a hunter, we still have Watoto's music playing. The whole idea of being a hunter, right, is that you can't return to your normal life. This is all that you have, right? Which is the kind of rhetoric that Lady M used to kind of persuade the group to come together and work for her. Of course, not without payment, because, you know, she's not stupid. She knows that they want money. After a quick tour and introduction to many other bar workers, the team are handily sent off on their first mission, one they chose themselves. They were given a couple newspaper clippings and leads to go off of, and eventually they chose to go to the vampire mansion owned by the Romano family. The journey is long. There's a road trip awaiting the crew, a shopping spree that comes a little later, a nasty stay at a motel, lots of cockroaches in that motel, a lot of bonding between the members through stealing shopping carts and feeding worms to owls. But eventually the truck is stolen. Who stole that truck? Do we even know? The truck is stolen, so the crew makes their way to a junkyard where they manage to find it and quickly realize they're being hunted by an unknown entity. The junkyard transforms into a hedge maze. A hedge maze! That the team must find their way out of. Here's some highlights that I really liked from session 1. In the beginning, when the team went to the bar, the bouncer, an older lady, brings out the shotgun against the crew. No cookies, just shotgun. However, she missed and did not manage to impress, as an overpowered NPC should, but it's fine. Watoto buys a $6 tux. Looks great on him. Tiara convinces Watoto to share his worm, leading to an interesting miscommunication between the two and the GM. Yeah, so when I listened to this again, when I took another listen, Tiara's like, yeah, give me the worm to feed to Uhu. And Watoto's like, yes. Watoto says, wait, are we talking about the same worm? And see, what Watoto is thinking is like, you know, like the worm, like W-Y-R-M worm. Because that would be bad, right? If he pulled that worm out of his pocket and gave it to Uhu. I was not thinking about that worm. I was thinking... Anyway, we all had a different idea of what worm was, so I responded very, very quickly and very, very quickly and frantically, no, it's the bug worm. Which I think exacerbated the situation where it didn't need to be exacerbated, but anyway, we move on to session 2, which is the hedge maze, where the team was being hunted. The team finds themselves in a mysterious maze of hedges that seems to have no end. The party splits up. Classic, of course they do. First real mission, yeah, of course they split up. Communicating through walkie-talkie, Tiara and Watoto stick together, and Scout and Yule find a small hole that Yule cannot get out of. Do I have that picture? I wanted to share a little fan art. Where is it? Yeah, Yule gets stuck in a hole. Bother. Classic. Also very classic. So Tiara gets shot at from the top of the hedge, right? You know, Uhu is doing some scouting. Tiara's kind of looking for a way out. And then whoever it was that was hunting them in the junkyard is apparently still here because she gets shot at with real bullets. Real, honest-to-God bullets by a sniper! A mysterious, unseen foe who speaks at them with an intercom. Eventually, she falls on top of Watoto. Watoto gives her a flower, though, and the flowers actually turn out to be armor. As opposed to fake bullets. Effectively rendering Tiara safe. So Tiara, well, before that, we go back to Scout and Yule. They find a small little hobbit home, and they end up having to hide from an entering assailant. Could it be the person that had turned tail and ran away from Tiara once she became all-powerful? The hunting dogs are handily calmed down by Watoto's Dragos. That's right, there are hunting dogs. But of course, Watoto is very experienced with the doggos, so those guys calm down handily. Thankfully. I think they were tranks at one point. Doggos calmed down by Dragos. I say Dragos, but they're just tranquilizers. They calm down. Tiara is clad in flower armor that keeps her safe from the sniper, and they apprehend him and tie him. His name is Bowl and Sniff. Sniff makes a deal pleading for his life and gives them a whistle. Interesting. He did say that the whistle would always be there unless he was dead. I wonder if they've checked to see if the whistle is there anymore. They probably should. But they get a whistle that'll take them somewhere special. But Tiara stole his gun, so he gives chase. He hates that. He really hated that it wasn't part of the deal. His prized gun. The party narrowly escapes the hedge through the mirror. They hitch a ride from a taco truck and are on their way again. Oh yeah, that's right. The taco truck people. They give him a lift to the bus. Tiara making enemies everywhere she goes. Classic Chihuahua. It's kind of endearing, though. You can say anything about Tiara and I'll be like, kind of cute, though. Kind of endearing. Session fun moments. Mori and Gura talk about Shake and Bake excitedly. Yeah, that was the first bit where, like, I kind of fast-forwarded in, and I stopped on us just talking about Shake and Bake. Gura was like, you can put Shake and Bake on anything. I was like, yeah. You like Shake and Bake? Yeah, I put it on everything. That was a nice bonding moment for us, I think. So yeah, Yule is stick in a hole. Editor! Editor Chama! You're getting killed. You're getting beat. You're getting an ass whooping today. Just saying. So Yule is stuck in the hole. Oh, bother. Scout to the rescue, though. Scout, of course, is able to save Yule. With the power of pants? It might not have been with the power of pants. But, you know, I mean, Scout has been through these kinds of things before, whether it be, you know, like pigs getting stuck in the mud. She's experienced, so it was fine. Tiara falls on Watoto, but not without falling for Watoto. Just kidding, I'm joking. She snorts some power powder. There's some juice. The juice is around. Do you wish to sniff the powder? I said, do you wish to snort the powder? Power powder. Wawa number 2. Wawa with a T becomes powerful. Also, Bowl and Sniff. I don't know where I came up with that name. Is it like for sniffing bowels? I don't know why I decided to come up with that, but yeah, that guy sucks too. Not a nice guy. He's probably still out there shooting around though. He might have gotten a better sniper gun. Rifle. The word is rifle, Mori. The word is sniper rifle. Moe. We've got the vampire party next. This is where they were aiming to go before they got a little sidetracked and lost in the hedge. Session 3, the vampire party. Ooh, this one was crazy. So the team loads onto a bus and makes their way for the manor. Vic joins them. The team goes on a shopping spree for elegant wear. They also meet Vic's brother Cornelius, who is the one that sent out the request for the mission. You see, the Romano family is the last Malkavian vampire royalty in the world. These wild vampires don't typically become royal. That's why they're the last one. This family did Vic and Corny's family dirty. What a nickname. And he wants revenge by exposing their ledger. That's right, the dirty truth that the charity ball that they're doing isn't for charity, and all of the funds, in fact, go directly to the family. This is the revenge that Cornelius seeks. And thus these 4 hunters are employed to infiltrate the party with fake invitations. Various antics ensue involving Scout giving laxatives to the guests via party food. Oh boy, Watoto and Tiara being flirted with by vampire twins, only to be brought up to a spooky torture dungeon bedroom. Yeah, that was a thing that happened. Yule ends up in a secret card game with the Romano family's head and comes out the winner. Interesting fact about the Romano family's head is that every hour his accent changes. It starts off being kind of like this. A little bit on the city slicker side. He's got a little bit of a Brooklyn accent. Hey, Tony! But then the next hour it sounds like this. Vampire from a foreign land. Out of all of the nice things you could take from my house, why do you choose my son's eyeliner? That was a great save, by the way. Yule was about to ruin the whole operation there by opening her mouth. We already took something. The whole team is like, no, you'll stop. I guess you'll see later, you'll stop. I need to know. What did you take from my house? Okay, well, Yule realizes this is a bad idea, and then decides to change her mind and say, well, we took his eye, which the team says is not better. That's not better, Yule. Eyeliner. Yeah, that could have been real bad. All-out war would have broken out in the middle of the dance hall. But thankfully, it didn't come to that. Oh, that was a close one. Yule is too honest. So Tiara and Watoto grab the ledger successfully, which is kind of nice, blinding Dominic, and Scout poisons the entire party. Thanks to Yule's deal and the ledger being found, the mission is considered a success. So the Romano family is ruined and the team gets a fat paycheck. Basically, Malkavian royalty done for. No more. It's done. Congratulations, team. Mission complete. That's kind of nice. What other highlights did we have? Watoto hide under bird lady dress. I thought that was kind of sweet. Watoto was not about to let Tiwawa go alone on this mission of flirtation. Can I make a slingshot out of my panties? Scout. Just Scout things. Typical of Scout. Also, Yule is Kaiji. I loved this line. I was working up to it and Gura beat me to it. I was like, their reputation has been soiled as well as their... And then Gura just jumps in. And their pants! She really wanted to... get in there. She saw that opportunity. She's like, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna get it first. I respect it. That was good. It was a good session. It was a fun session. Let's see. The next session that we had, I do recall there was a session at a certain point here where I had a lot of issues, and we decided to play Gardic Phone instead. So that's a missing session, which is why the numbers may not exactly be correct for sessions here, but that's fine. Quick-witted when it comes to pants, huh? I believe it. Now we've got sessions 5 and 6, the Hell Circus. A mysterious beach carnival where people have reported seeing odd things. Some strange cult-like figures are excited for the performers, who are clown-themed soda-loving rappers. Bear in mind, this is a session I wrote during a members-only stream, where the members helped me concoct it. That was really fun. With some face paint, a Crash Bandicoot costume, and a crazy concert happening before them, the team seems to be ready for chaos. Until... was that? The legally distinct. the gigolos. Yes, lingonberry. The carnival ends up being dragged to the underworld through a rap chant-related ritual. These clowns were hoping to summon a demonic entity, but instead threw the entire location into the realm of the entity instead. The name of this entity was Baba Gathalamush, Eater of Dimensions. But in reality, that's just a friggin' dumb name they came up for the entity. They just came up with it. The entity has a different name probably, but that's just what they thought sounded cool and also like fit into their raps, I guess. Basically, they're a cult. A cult that likes to wear face paint, drink soda, enjoy rap music, and summon a demonic entity. Baba Gathalamush goes hard too, though. Yeah. My guess is the real name of this entity is probably much shorter, like 1 syllable or so. Those are always the most terrifying names, right? For entities. But of course, Baba Gathalamush does never grace their presence. Probably just laughing at them. Probably put them there on purpose, just for jokes. Just for the laughs. 100%. Various carnival games, confusing castle mazes, and burning stalls later. Yeah, this one really put Scout's morality into my crosshairs because, oh man. Burning the children. She was totally cool with burning a barn house full of children. Yeah, you had to find the ship's wheel. The entire island turned out to be a sort of ship with a central engine, and the rides on top of it being kind of a source for power. So, after carnival games, confusing castle mazes, and burning stalls, later the team makes their way to a Ferris wheel, which seems to be an engine of some sort controlling the park. Eventually they figure out they need to turn it backwards, get it to run backwards, get the rides to run backwards, and then perform a ritual at the center of the beach carnival. They also entered a hall of mirrors, encountering doppelgangers, and they had to unravel their own voodoo dolls to save themselves. Yeah, that was quite interesting. I think Tiara stabbed herself like a gazillion times. That was kind of rough. Wasn't on purpose, I'm sure. She didn't quite grasp the situation. With the help of Grandma, they find a wheel and perform a ritual to send the carnival running back in reverse to the land of the living. The Ferris wheel, which the team also turned backwards, contributes to the ritual, and the team is able to pull the carnival back into a stable reality. Paradoxes rule. We love paradoxes. Basically, really weird demonic carnival shit happened. Mad Jester Clan Scooby 3 Superlit. Did we come up with that on stream? I just think someone should really use that someday, you know? A freestyle concert with cool chants. Yeah, a little freestyle rap there was really good. What did it go like? Get down with the wickedness. Get into the sickness. Pull down these trousers. See how long this... Phone starts ringing. He was really just gonna say, see how long this picnic is, you know? Because they love to have picnics together. Just without their trousers, you know? There was really nothing like yabai about it. If you go later on, you know, in the world, of course, if you like went on to like Genius and like looked up the lyrics, you would see that was really just, the lyrics were, pull down these trousers, see how long this picnic is. You know? Stop digging. No pants picnic. I mean, it's fine. They still have like their underwear on. Like, it's normal. They just have a picnic sitting around with each other. And just their underwear. What? There's nothing weird about that. A lot of people do it. I don't, but I'm sure they do it. Have you guys ever seen the gathering of the Mad Jester Clan? There's a lot freakier shit that goes on there. Aside from having a picnic without your pants on, alright? Believe you me. Yes. Okay. Keep digging. They drink lingon juice. They now gather on Wednesday. Also content to let the children burn What the fuck, Scout? Also, Scout was in a Crash Bandicoot costume. I'm pretty sure that I have the image that somebody drew. This is pretty cool. Look at that. Looking good. Everybody's ready for a fun time at the carnival. Everybody's ready to clown around. Everybody's ready to clown around. Art by Mikururun. Brash Candicoot. Excuse me. That's the real name of this non-copyright character. Also, yeah, this is where speaking of copyright, this is where I used a special castle image that we later found out was the Mouse Castle of France. Whoopsies. Look, this was before like Adobe stock images, okay? I think it was. Or rather, we didn't have perms for that back then, so I had to do what I could with Unsplash. They just didn't have a lot of options. I did my best. And we even helped you pick out those images, you sons of bitches. Well, see, now I can push the blame over to someone else. And one of the most important sessions, I would say, the session that came before this one, Session 7, Escape from the Bar. So we got some lore about the past hunters of the homestead. Wait, hold on, did we? No, everybody returned home from the beach, and there was a little bit of a time skip, actually. There was like a good, solid, 3-month time skip, where the team is assumed to have been doing small-time hunter jobs, nothing too serious. Right. And then, during a little offhanded conversation at the bar, we learned from Madam M about the past hunters of the homestead and what happened to them. Basically, they went on a journey to the underworld, and they never came back. You see, they went beyond the ocean, beyond the Sea of Souls. There is a hole, deep, deep inside. Where it goes, nobody knows. No one's returned. Anyone who's entered has not returned from it. However, reports have been coming out of the exact number of hunters that disappeared, wreaking havoc in hunter society. However, we later on learned that, these hunters are the masked folk and not the actual past hunters of the homestead. Not like Madam M had surmised. Watoto's art is killing me, it's pretty good. But Madam M mentions that they may be back from the underworld, keyword being maybe, and back for blood. So it's time for a training exercise to really get the team together again. The whole crew, really together. Working with each other, learning to trust each other, using their heads to get out of sticky situations, basically all the things that they'd been doing before, but within a contained experiment of sorts. So Madam M then forces the team to break out of the bar on their own and become a better team. Using their huge brains combined, Tiara and Uhu accidentally trigger the emergency lockdown. Great, but then Madam M gets shot? By who? Unknown assailants. Suddenly, sleep gas passes through the vents. The masked figured. Editor. You're done for. You finished. The masked figures begin to tie up the players, and these guys are total robbers. They make the girls and the Watoto play a game of ally or betray, testing their bonds, and players effectively come out alive, as they have finally learned to trust and value each other as comrades. So instead of selling out their teammates to get money, of course, the team decides to look out for each other. Tiara recognizes the voice of the man in the red mask. It's her own brother, who now leads a thieving hunter syndicate, made up of all the other members of the players' families. So they take all the money and they leave peacefully. But then, the story continues on from there. Some little tidbits escape from the bar. Watoto and Tiara TT was especially strong in this one. Also, I really liked how Scout figured out super early that the masked beings were people from their past. I know it was the Western accent, probably, that tipped her off, but you could see the gears spinning in her mind like, wait a minute. No, she totally knew. She knew super early on. Also, some of the best voice acting ever. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but it was well voice acted, I would say. Was pretty happy with that. Smart. She's got them brains. And for session 8, which is the real finale, who could say what will happen? Honestly, the future is open. Who knows? Who knows? I'm kind of hoping for this, but I need to stop that. I'm the GM. I need to stop that. What other pictures did we have here that were cool? What was this? Rants about the frat. NPC Nita. She was cute. A lot of these can be found in the hashtag MYTHBREAKERS tag, which is the fan content tag. I believe in Tiara supremacy. I believe this one was drawn by Jolly, featuring Vic and Tiara. Get him away from her. Get away, Vic, my beloved. Back off. Let's see, what else did we have here? What is this? I don't know what this is. I can't see it well enough. I need to make sure I'm showing you guys the right images. I don't want to spoil anything for the session. Oh yeah, these are some good looking doodles. More TT. A little known fact about Watoto, everyone, is that Watoto actually doesn't have a canon look. Watoto can be completely determined by the viewer in terms of looks, which is, I think, how Watson kind of intended it. Yeah. I think that's the better way, to be honest. More fun for everyone. Some vampire party antics. I think these are also by Jolly, I'm not sure. Welcome to the Crimson Charity Ball! Oh gosh, this scene here, the Kaiji scene. I'm willing to let you and your little friends go under one condition. Ah, that was hype! That was hype. Watoto is an eldritch being. Don't say that. Don't. Watoto is good Watoto. You know, there's something that still kind of sticks in my head all the time, which is, you know, the meeting of Watoto family once again reuniting. Might be important to see. And here.
Son, our son! Watoto, we missed you, but we found government secrets.
You're alive? Watoto thought you died.
Watoto's so
sorry,
pure.
Leave son alone. Watoto, we are so sorry, Watoto. We love you, but great mission and big government secret and big enemy. This mask from our boss. When we wear this, we become powerful, but the things become so strange and hard to think straight.
Ah, yeah.
Watoto just
They
wants
mess
you
with
to
their
stay
brains.
safe. Watoto can pay the bills.
Watoto. Mother Watoto starts crying, and just is weeping, absolutely weeping on the ground at this point. And Father Watoto strokes her head and says,
There, Watoto.
they're
You
all
are very
named
lucky,
Watoto.
son. Not stupid like
Beautiful.
us. Thank you for being so smart, son. Always make sure to not make bad deals with extraterrestrial deities. Don't become corrupt by spooky space insect. What was the name? Worm.
Worm
Yes.
Toto? You mean Worm Toto?
Yes.
Worm Toto.
No worm. It's okay, our smart son is smart.
Watoto's friend.
Oh no. Not Worm Toto. So what will happen from here on out, I wonder? Well, I guess there are various things to think about going into the next session to kind of remember where we stand at this exact moment, right? Watoto did an oopsie. Well, there's always going to be that looming in there. But it's important, as this is the finale session, to kind of put together some of the relationships between all of these sessions. To sort of center the grand master plan in the midst of all of it. What is the thread that is tying all of these things together? For example, the hedge mission. Who threw them off course? Who put them into the hedge? And how is the hedge so important to what's going to happen in the future? Why was the professor doing lots of experiments involving changelings in the hedge? What was she up to? Why does the hook keep appearing everywhere? Additionally, well, the vampire mission was kind of a one-off thing. Got him some good money. I'd say the vampire mission was, I don't want to say a filler episode, but a nice chunk of story that made for a nice session that maybe didn't have many immediate consequences for the future. But what about the carnival on the beach? What about the demonic entity that was referenced during that time? There might be more common threads here and there than you think. Or how about the mine that Scout was involved in? All of this mention of a dark entity. Who could it be? Are they really that powerful? What about the masks? Where did that other hunter group involving the team's parents get their masks? And how did they all end up together? Doesn't that seem like too much of a coincidence? Unless something or someone is pulling strings. There's a lot to think about. But regardless, one thing that you do need to know for sure is that the company, the Homestead Bar, has no money anymore. Which is bad. And it's going to make it difficult for that group to stay together. But there might still be one last thing for them to do. And what do things look like when they exit the Homestead Bar? What happened to Lady M? Is she okay? She got shot. Who needs money when you can rob a hobo? No more shopping cart robberies. Though if they really want to do it, I'm not gonna disallow them to. Pretty sure Scout's sister was not meant to survive. Yeah, well, she did though, and she's living her best life in the city. I like to think that she just went off to become, like, a city slicker. You know, enjoying the nice parts of not being in the deep country. And just kill the world. I don't have to kill anything. The world may as well already be on track to be killed. Who could say? With that being said, I'm your Mori. Thanks for coming to the recap. This has been fun. But now I have to go and meet with my team and get them all prepared for what is to come in the future. So I'll see you guys very soon, and I'll be sending you off now. Sending you off to the finale stream. I'll do my best to close up the story in a way that works for everybody, and in a way that entertains you guys. I'll do my best to be a good GM. Please look forward to it, to the ending of MYTHBREAKERS. See you soon. Bye, everyone. Peace.
Let's hit the crosswalk, let's talk, can you keep up? You're kinda keen and now we're looking like I don't sleep enough. Take a toe on a rendezvous without a straight far. I'm the kind of easier mind by taking you to the graveyard. Step out to the city, but you don't know me. Take my wits right with me, but they don't know me. Maybe feel like going psycho in the streets, and it for later. make a stylish retreat. Hey, go live, go high, so fly, oh my, no drive. This guy talk about a misfire, leave it to misfire, spitting for cash. I'll never be caught up again, right in this album. Just say it. 魔法が溶けてゆく日々の中で新しい魔法を上書きしてくそれは What do you mean? そういう意味って答えを自分で探して施設好きに裏も表もない Have a great night 私をタイプメイレイディダウンタウン歌ってるシャラララララ誰も気づかない日の出闇をと今宵には Never missing moon 誰かを照らす As far as telling horror stories goes my kind of warfare pull back the curtain for one hell of a show deadbeats swinging out of control transmission live before you I'll read in real time just don't forget admission that soul is still mine sha la 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 Hey listen 今あなたの隣に死神がいますよ